And we're back live from the Norman Music Festival. Dave Morris, George Lang from the Oklahoman here, and what you've just been watching on WIMGO and News OK was the Starlight Mints. George, give us a recap of what we just saw there.
That's right. They played several songs from their last couple of albums, Built on Squares and Drowaton. It was, their typical sort of funky, psychedelic sound, but intensely melodic. I mean, these were songs that you could definitely hum along to, but they'll throw in a curve on you, you know? I mean, some of these melodies and some of these rhythms, they would just, they'll come around the corner at you and give you something unexpected. So Marion Love Nunez, she put on a great show tonight. Alan Vest, one of the most underrated indie rock singers out there. I've always considered him one of the best to come out of Norman. So overall, it was a great performance, and they played a lot of new songs as well. So a lot that people could grab onto tonight. It was really great.
We're going on 10 straight hours of rocking it out here at the Norman Music Festival. We've been streaming live on WIMGO.com and News OK all day. What are some of the highlights for you? I think for me, seeing Absolute, a band based out of Los Angeles now with some Oklahoma connections, I believe the guitarist, right? They were one of my favorites early on, but we've seen some really great stuff. What's some highlights for you?
You know, personally, I thought Man Man was fantastic. A band out of Philadelphia that, I mean, if you want to talk about curveballs, this band was full of them. As I said earlier, this was a group that sounded like Frank Zappa playing klezmer music. It was absolutely off the wall, and at the same time, people were going nuts. I mean, it wasn't that it was so weird that people couldn't get into it. You could see the dancing out here. People were going crazy. So that for me was one of the best moments, and there was, I mean, just throughout the day, there have been some great shows. Early on in the day, the first show on the main stage, El Paso Hot Button, Mickey Reese. He's a one-man band. Incredible show.
Yeah, it's amazing what he does. Just a guitar and some drums.
That's right, kick drums. And he makes it sound like a full band, and not just a full band, but a full good band. I mean, he was really great.
He was rocking it out. I think another highlight, and we just saw the Starlight Mints, was this shirtless guy hanging out the window overlooking Main Street.
That's right.
With what am I trying to say?
At least a couple of ventriloquist dummies.
And a skeleton.
We don't know what's going on up there.
There you're looking at it right there, just above the Mr. Robert building.
That's right. In that open window, there's something ominous going on.
But just an example of the fun that people are having up here.
That's right.
Main Street has been packed all day long in Norman. The last thing I saw on Twitter was like 20,000 people was the estimate from the Norman Music Festival, which kind of tells you the success that we've had or that we've seen here today.
That's right, and I'm sure that there's even more that are still coming in for the final show, which is, of course, of Montreal. They're coming off of their latest album, Skeletal Lamping. Very funky music, stuff that kind of splits the difference between psychedelia and Prince. And we're going to see a really flamboyant performance from the lead singer, Kevin Barnes. He's one of the best showmen in indie rock. We're going to see something.
All right, we'll get back to the main stage now. George, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, David.
Be sure to check out all of George's knowledge on the Static blog. You've been updating that throughout the day. Of course, he's got coverage on newsok.com, on the Oklahoman. And we're going to have highlights from the various interviews you did today all next week on newsok.com. And you spoke with several of the artists back over at the main site.
Main site Contemporary Art Gallery. That's right. They've been great to us and given us a really great forum to do some excellent interviews.
And special thanks to Sooner Theater for the internet access today. George, once again, thanks. Of Montreal's up next. Let's take it back to the main stage.